Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your YouTube friend Shan, and today we are making scones. I don't know how people pronounce scones or scones, so I use them interchangeably depending on my mood. I don't even know what mood I'm in, but yeah, I guess we're making scones today. And also the reason why I'm making scones is because I'm planning to send these back home to my families. So yeah, apparently I make really good scones, and um, these scones are gonna be traveling 7,000 odd miles away. So let's crack on. So I'm gonna prepare all the ingredients, and I'm gonna tell you guys what ingredients we're using today. So simple that I think that's why I'm so keen to make it. And literally all you need is self-raising flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, butter, and milk. If you have eggs, you can use eggs to brush the top of the scone, but it's not the key ingredient. So I'm starting off with 675 grams of self-raising flour. I've done this without self-raising flour, just plain flour, and just added extra baking powder to bulk it up. So you don't actually need self-raising flour. So 657. Just gonna take some away. What did I say? 675 grams. And then you will need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just gonna say 3 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm actually gonna use a proper teaspoon for this. So noisy. But if you are making this for yourself, then you can just use like an actual teaspoon. But because I am making this not for me but for my family, then I'll be a bit more precise. So all you need is just 3 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. Great. After that, you need a pinch of salt. For this, I always guesstimate. I mean, how wrong can you get to a pinch of salt, right? And I kind of like mine slightly salty-ish because scones are pretty sweet. Such a sweet dessert. Is it a dessert? I don't think it's a dessert. It's a pastry. But yeah, it is a really sweet pastry if you add the um, jam and everything else. So I kind of like to add a little bit more than a pinch of salt to balance the whole thing. But honestly, you do you with this, to be honest. So yeah, a pinch of salt. I feel like I want a little bit more just to bring out more of a flavor. And then you're gonna add 80 grams of sugar. So for me, because I know, like, generally when I eat scones, I'm gonna add sweet things, so I try to reduce the sugar significantly. So instead of 80 grams, I'm gonna use 60. And once that's all done, you want to give this dry mixture a mix. And I will be using a wooden spatula today. The thing is, you will need to end up using your hands, so it doesn't matter what utensils you use at first. This is just to mix everything in and try to make it as even as possible. And yeah. So for the wet ingredient, you will just need flour. You will just need butter and milk. I have measured out the milk. I just need to measure the butter. Also, the annoying thing is I don't know where I put my camera stand, so you can only see me and watch me yap, but I promise you I am making a scone. A scone. Let me see if I can try find it. Give me a second. I found it. And so for the flour, you'll need 150 grams. This is a 250-gram thing. So I just need 150 grams. Or I don't know what. So that's 180. Oops. 160. Nearly there. Oh my god. Okay, 150. Perfect. Oh, this is not going well. But anyways. Okay, so you want to chop these up into pretty small cubes because you're going to need to rub your hands with the flour and butter to get them into this really fine sand-like consistency. So I think this is the most tedious part of the whole process, which isn't that tedious to be honest, and which is why I make it so often. So yeah, this. Okay, so it should look like this. And then once that's all chopped up, you want to put it into the dry mixture. And I'm using unsalted butter today only because my husband says he prefers unsalted apparently. But to be honest, I always just buy salted butter whenever I go to the supermarket because I don't taste a big difference. And also, you're gonna need salt in all your cooking and baking anyway, so what's the difference really? Unless I'm making ghee, that I strictly use unsalted butter. And Now that I've got it all here, I'm going to use my hands and just squish some butter and not really melt the butter, but you just want to mix the flour and butter evenly so that each butter or each flour component has each other. So you just want to do a rubbing motion and get the flour and butter to be kind of like one. It's gonna look like a um not really a dry sand, but not so wet either. That consistency. I don't know if you can capture it on. I can capture it on camera, but um, I'll show you what I mean. This can take a while, so I do recommend that you use softened butter, because for obvious reasons, it would take much longer if you use very cold butter. It is quite sensory satisfying. And okay, I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I haven't, to be very honest with you, I haven't been checking my YouTube analytics or whatever, but there have been friends and family who have seen my YouTube videos and channel. So I felt a little bit like shy, but uh, it's okay. To be seen feels very weird, but it's okay. I enjoy this a lot. I really enjoy just like making this and talking. But again, as the title says, this is not a cooking show or a baking show. Um, yeah, I don't want this page to be that because, like, nah, I don't want to stick to one genre, you know what I mean? Just a lifestyle thing. Just sharing what I know and what I do at times. Um, there was it the other day we had some guest over and I made tiramisu, which is such an easy recipe. I think it's easier than this. I mean, this is very easy already, but so you can imagine when I say that's easier, it's nuts that it's nuts to think that tiramisu is so easy to make and they cost a fortune when you eat out and they don't taste good either. So I was so pleased when I found this really, really easy recipe on TikTok. And it's my go-to recipe ever since. I promise you it was good. But anyways, I was supposed to film that, but I was a bit disappointed that I forgot. Only after I like literally put the whole dessert in the fridge, I'm like, oh crap, I was supposed to film this. So yeah, I'm compensating by making scones. Um, but if you want to see a tiramisu video, let me know. And also, I want to know who my followers are because I realize I can't see who follows me on YouTube, or am I not finding it in the right place? It would be nice to know who my followers are. But actually, not knowing, I think not knowing does help me because then I don't feel shy because I don't know anything that's happening. Um, but yeah, I just want to see who's lurking. It smells so good already because, again, butter. You can never go wrong with butter. Oh, you can smell the milk in the butter, or maybe it's a combination with the flour. It's heaven. But trust me, this the reason why I like this recipe so much, and I think I'm gonna, not I think I'm definitely gonna link the recipe in the description, is because it comes out like croissants, buttery like croissant. And I mean, as you can imagine, living in the UK, I've had my fair share of like scones, like from like the garden center to um the store bought ones to like independent um uh tea tea rooms. I know a good scone, and this recipe never fails. So yeah, I'm going to share the love. And you know what? I saw this person on TikTok sending like she was literally uh making curry to send back to like, I think she was from Bangladesh. And I thought, why have I not thought of that? You know, like how have I not thought of making my own things and sending it back to my family? Like that is such a brilliant idea. Because like how much can you buy? Like I feel like every I go back, I see my family maybe twice a year or more or less, and I run out of things to buy. Like how much M&S like shortbreads can you buy, you know? And how much chocolates can you get for them? And I feel like at this point they might not be bored, but I am bored of buying the same thing. um so yeah, this is definitely better. So okay, so right now this is pretty much done. um so it's pretty, like it looks dry, but if you press it, it should come up like a clump. That's when you know they are all coated with butter. The flour is all coated, but it's crumbly, you know. And this is also how they make apple crumble. You know, the crumble from the apple crumble, but I think they definitely use way more butter than this. Like the flour and butter, the flour to butter ratio is higher for the butter. And once this is done, you are going to add your milk. So I've measured up my milk already, and that this is when it gets a bit sticky. So just be warned. So yeah, it is 450 mils of it is 450 milliliters of milk. A tip that I got from like an old lady, and she's English, so it must be a real hack, is to use, and it's a hack, and this hack is to use up like soured milk or like spoiled milk basically. And she said they make the best scones. So this isn't really soured milk, but it is gone off, like the expiry date has it's reached its expiry date, so that is why I'm happy to use this. And it's a way for me to use it. I've done a really sour milk one, like trust me, I couldn't even smell it, but it turned out perfect. So obviously because this isn't for me, I'm not going to use like super spoiled milk. It's just gone off date by like 2 days. So yeah, I'm gonna pour this slowly. I think a third at a time. And then going back to your spatula and mixing it. I think I'm going to make 2 batches. Today I'm making it the sultana style with some raisins and sultanas, which again I'm going to wing. I'm not gonna measure anything. And then the next time I'm making it again, it would be cheese flavored, so savory and a sweet one. So yeah, I don't know when's the right time to add the um the raisins, so I'm gonna leave that till the end when I put in all my milk. Actually, no, while it's still a little bit dry, I'm gonna add the raisins. So I don't know how much this is in grams. I'm just gonna chuck the whole thing in. And I'm gonna add a bit more. I got new ones. That looks like a lot, but is there such thing as too much sultanas or raisins? I don't think so. Maybe, but I think this is okay. I think my bowl is too small, but we will manage. Right. Okay. I'm gonna add. Oh, I'm gonna change. I can't take it. Okay. Let's switch bowls. Much better. Okay. Next batch of milk. So with the milk, you need to be a little bit careful because it does get sticky real quick, and I don't like it if it's too wet. It's a bit harder to manage. So even though the recipe says 450 mils of milk, I kind of reduce it by 550 mils. Yeah, in today's case, it looks like I'm gonna reduce it by 100 mils. Yeah, I think this is more than enough milk. should look like a little bit of a shaggy dough, like this. Not too wet and not too dry. Just a little bit more mixing and it will be perfect. Okay. And I think I could add a little bit more of raisins too. Okay. Right. Oh, it's all done. And now I'm going to let this rest for 10 minutes. And while this is resting, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees. Okay, so one thing about me is I do not like working when there is like different mess all over. I kind of like to do the mess, clean, and then start another mess. So yeah, come and clean up with me. Oops. Also really excited for dinner tonight because my friends and I are having hot pot. It's and like, to be honest, there's nothing surprising about this, but it's March, well, April tomorrow, and I'm so disappointed with the weather. It's been so cold, and that is also why we're having hot pot in spring. But if I'm being honest with you, I can't say no to hot pot even in the summer. So I don't know what point I was trying to make, but that is that. Okay, so it's been more than 10 minutes because someone intruded me. No, anyways, it was meant to be 10 minutes, but it has been like 20-ish minutes. So we are going to um, put some flour on the counter and um, then add the scone mixture on here so that we can fold it and cut it into the right sizes. I have someone watching me, so okay. Okay. So what you want to do is to um just roll it out. I actually lost my rolling pin. Well, actually, I left it in someone's house and then I felt bad to ask for it back. But, anyways, so I'm just going to use whatever I have, which is, well, um, okay. So I'll just use this. No. What did I use last time? My milk. I used my milk bottle last time. Just something. Oh, just something with a flat, round surface. So you want to flatten it out pretty well, not too thin, but the reason why you're going to flatten it out now is so that you're going to so it the so as I was saying, the reason why you want to flatten it out is because you're going to fold it, uh fold one side on the on top of the other, and then you're going to cut, so it's going to end up a little bit thick anyway, so you don't want to not flatten it well enough, but you don't want it too thin either, because then you will have a flat scone. So something about like this would look okay. And then what you can do if you have a scraper is to flip it onto the other side as evenly as possible and give it a slight roll again. Okay, so it should look like this. And then you're gonna take a cookie cutter and just cut accordingly. I like to use the bigger size ones. But you can do whatever size you like. If you don't have a cookie cutter, you can use just like a random bowl. As long as it has a round surface, you'll be fine. And then you want to put them all onto a tray. Can you see how many scones I've made from the all these? It's not rust, don't worry. This is just to give them some color when they are in the oven. But because I'm sending this back to my family who are 7,000 miles away, I'm not going to brown them so much than compared to when I normally make them for myself. This is because I know I'm gonna freeze this, and they're gonna need to put it back into the oven to when they want to have it. So just gonna make sure it's cooked well, and then I'll freeze it straight away after it's cooled, obviously. So yes, if it turns out a little bit paler than what you're used to seeing, then that is why. But in usually I try not to I try to make it very nice and like brownish, like golden brown basically. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in the oven and be right back. Snack break. So let's see how it looks after 15 minutes. Oh, oh my God. Wow. Ta-da. It's a little bit too it's a little bit too brown for my liking because I wanted it slightly pale, but it's okay. This is how I would normally prepare it. And now I'm gonna put the next batch in. And this is the final look. Oh my gosh, guys, I think this is the best one I've made. They look so tall. Usually the ones I make are like probably half the height. Still tastes nice, but the presentation for this one is amazing. Oh, it's hot. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along for my next video. See you. Bye.
You finished it?